Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Many times we think we're being rejected, but we're actually being directed. How many times have you been rejected and you're actually being directed to something else? Good morning, Coach Lila, Nice Soul Purpose, Tamla, Miss LT. Good morning. If this is your first time on the scope, definitely tell me your name and where you're coming in. Welcome back, Como. Thank you, Coach Lila, for inviting followers. Thank you, Ambrosia Anns. Good morning. Amphanus for inviting followers and sharing on Twitter. Good morning, Brittany Porter. Thank you guys in advance for inviting followers and sharing on Twitter. Thank you, Ambrosia Anns, for sharing on Twitter. Miss LT75 for sharing on Twitter. Good morning, Loving Me LDG. If this is your first time on the scope, tell me your name. This today, hey, beautiful, hey, sweetheart, hey, Amanda, hey, Fatima. Yes, sometimes we think we're being rejected, but we're actually being redirected. And we're going to talk about that today. Are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to keep going when you think you addicted to my scopes? I'm addicted to encouraging people. Thank you, Loving Me LDG, for sharing on Twitter. Hey, Chadi from California. Welcome, welcome. I love California. I lived in San Diego for about 5 years, so I'm waiting on you guys. Thank you so much for sharing on Twitter, for inviting followers. This is a word that everybody needs to hear. Thank you, Tamla, for inviting followers, Coach Lila, because people are quick to give up on themselves, and we want people to be encouraged today. Hey, Chris, welcome, welcome. Hey, Letitia, thank you for inviting followers. We want people to be encouraged. We want people to know. Thank you, Cheesecakes, for inviting followers. And Coach Lila, share this on Twitter if you can. Invite your followers. I promise to give you something, hopefully, that will change your life. Thank you in advance for the hearts. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Danielle Patterson Winningham. Let me get my phone right. Former Chase executive and somebody who really wants to put you in touch. Thank you. Good morning, Sisters Moving. Thank you for inviting followers. Somebody that wants to put you in touch. Previously, Vice President at Chase for about 15 years. And now using what I learned, thanks Nice Soul Purpose for sharing on Twitter, using what I learned to help people, Fanta Be Coaching. Good morning, good morning. Really want to help people, put people in touch with their best lives now. And if anybody told you can't live your best life, if you're sitting there thinking that, hey, good morning, Marriage to God, thanks for sharing on Twitter and inviting followers. If you think you can't live your best life, we're going to put that to the test this morning. Somebody say, great, right. I didn't want to say that this morning. I'm going to be good this morning. So, good morning. God bless, Nicole. And so, I just show up, hopefully, to give you a word to let you know it is possible. If you think it's possible this morning, somebody say me. To let you know, buenos dias, sister. Good morning. To let you know your dreams are you are able to do this thing. Thank you, ladies, for sharing. Good morning. Thank you for sharing on Twitter. And to just give you some encouragement, a lot of people will tell you you can't. Good morning, Lady Sunshine. But yes, you're definitely able. And so we're going to be talking about some bad beliefs this morning. Some bad beliefs. Good morning, Debbie. Thank you for inviting followers. And thank you, Yellow Rose, for following me and for inviting people on Twitter. If you're not following me, I appreciate it if you do. Good morning, Trice. Good morning, Elegant Fitness. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. This is going to be a great morning because I'm excited about just busting up some bad beliefs that you may have that are keeping you from being successful. Somebody say amen. Our mindset controls everything, but unfortunately, we're not the only ones that control our mindset. I'm going to say that again. Y'all can get in trouble, Brittany Angel. Y'all better quit playing. I'm going to say that again. Your mindset controls everything, but unfortunately, you're not the only person that controls your mindset. Your mindset is controlled by everything and everybody around you. Your mindset is controlled by the television shows you watch, by the commercials that you see. Good morning, Cindy. Your mindset is controlled by your interactions with other people. Your mindset is in control by your environment. And so There are so many things, good morning, Sheila, that control your mindset. So you have to work to take your mindset back. If you're taking your mindset back this morning, somebody say me. Because it's easy to allow your mindset to be taken over. It's much more difficult for you to fight a battle every day for your mindset. And believe it, you have to fight a battle every day for your mindset. The word this morning says, in life there's going to be troubles. So you should expect to have to fight a battle every day for your mindset, because your sensory perception is always active. And what I mean by that is your mind is always under the influence of other things. And so you have to make sure you wake up in the morning and put your boxing gloves on and be prepared to do battle to take over your mind and take back your life. And if you're ready to take back your life today, say me. Because this is your life. However you live in your life, what you like, what you don't like, is up to you. But you have to be definitive and determined in saying, today, I'm going to take back my life. Because it's my life. God gave it to me. And God said already he has some stuff for me. And I want the stuff that God has for me. And the only way you're able to get that stuff is you have to take back your mindset and take back your life. Because people are telling you some stuff. You're seeing some stuff, and you're equating that to your ability to be successful, but that is not the truth. So you got to be ready to take back your mindset. So some of the bad beliefs that you may have permeating in your system that must be removed. Number one, this is who I am. This is who I am. How many times do you do something and you say, well, that's just who I am? But who you are can be changed. It's a difference between who I am because who I choose to be, and who I am because God made me to be someone. And God made you to be someone great. If you believe that, say me. So who you are is a victim of what you've experienced, what you grew up thinking, what you grew up knowing. But who you are and who you were made to be by God is totally different than who you are. It's two totally different things. And you have to realize that, yes, it's a struggle for everybody, Miriam. And you have to realize that and say, no, this is not just who I am. I can be who God called me to be, who God put me here to be. But I got to be willing to pay the price, and I got to be willing to do the work. I got to be willing to fight the battle. Somebody say me if you're ready to fight the battle. Another bad belief. So number one is, this is who I am. Another bad belief is number two, this is the life I was given. This is the life I was given, so this is the life I have to live. That is a bad belief. If he can do it for one, he can do it for you. And so he can change your life, but you got to be willing and able to help. Hey, Felicia, good morning. You've got to be willing to fight that battle in the mind that says, this is not the life I must live. If I put my nose to the grind and I'm willing to pay the price for success, then I could be living Bill Gates' life in 5 or 10 years. I could be living Warren Buffett's life in 5 or 10 years. I don't have to just accept this life. I don't have to. Yes, be not conformed, be transformed by the renewing of the mind. And once you get that in your mindset, good morning, Sharon. Yes, just because you was taught that doesn't mean it's right. Thank you, Mo Cherie, for inviting followers. And you can change your mindset at any time. Again, you got to be willing to pay the price. Another bad belief, I'm stuck. How many of you have said that? I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. I don't know where to go next. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. But you got to stop saying you're stuck and start saying I'm going to be unstuck. You got to stop saying I'm stopped, and you got to start saying I'm started. Stuck and started is a mindset, and it is up to you to adopt a different mindset. You don't have shackles on your feet and your hands. I could understand Harriet Tubman saying I'm stuck because she had shackles on. You don't have nothing on your hands. You don't have nothing on your feet. You're not taped up, roped up, or shackled. So the only place you're stuck is here, and the only way for you to get free is to do something here. You got to do the work here. You got to do the work in your mindset. So that's a bad belief. saying I'm stuck. That's a bad, yes, that's true. If she wasn't stuck behind chains and shackles and bad beliefs, you can't be stuck behind nothing. We live far better. We live far better than our ancestors ever lived. And so we have to say to ourselves, if they paid the price for me to get here, regardless as to what your ancestral background is, somebody paid the price for you to be here. Somebody paid the price for you to be here. So regardless as to what your ancestors did for you to be here, for you to have a life right now, you got it far easier than them. And so when it's all said and done, you have to be willing to do the work up here. Because this is the only place that the bonds exist. This is the only place that you're stuck. This is the only place that you're in prison. And I'm not saying it lightly now. Don't get me wrong. Because the mind is a bad boy. The mind will having you believing some bad stuff about yourself. The mind is a powerful thing. And that's why I said you got to wake up every day committed to fight this battle against your mind. Not against the haters or not against people that don't like you, but your mind and you. I think your mind is you, but your mind is like a sponge, and so it soaks up all of this foolishness. Yes, so you got to work, not just work, but work overtime to combat, everything that people have told you in your mind. So you got to stop saying you're stuck, and you got to stop saying, you got to start saying you're started. Another thing we say, there's no way out. There's no way out. There's always a way out. There's always a way out. But in your mind, you may not conceive a way out, but if you pray, you may see a way out. If you consult with someone, you may see a way out. But in your mind, that's a bad belief. This morning, we're talking about bad beliefs. We're talking about bad mental beliefs that will keep you living a life less than what God has imagined for you, planned for you, dreamed for you, set aside for you. Bad beliefs. Number one was saying, this is who I am. Number two is just accepting your life and just saying, oh, well, this is my life. I got to live it. Or number three is saying, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm just stuck. You got to stop saying you're stuck and start saying you started. Number four is saying there's no way out. At the point where you say there's no way out, you're resigning yourself to giving up on all the blessings that God has for you. Thank you, Felicia, for sharing on Twitter. If you want everything God has set aside for you, somebody say me. Somebody say me, because as I come here every day, I come here because I want it all. I want it all. And in order for me to receive everything that God has for me, I have to ask for all of it. And if I can't ask him for all of it, if I'm believing that this is who I am, that's not asking him for all of it. If I'm believing that this is the life I must live, then I'm not believing him for all of it. If I'm believing that I'm stuck, I'm not believing him for all of it. If I believe there's no way out, I'm not believing him for all of it. So I have to believe with all my heart for everything that God has for me. Somebody just say amen. Somebody just say amen. I see you, Mr. Garcia. I see you sharing. They said, I want everything. Somebody say amen. If this is your prayer, God, send me everything that you have stored up for me. Send me everything that you have planned for me. Send me everything that you have designed for me. Send me everything you have for me in my destiny. Send me everything you have for me. Somebody say amen. Somebody say amen. You've got to want it all, and you got to ask him for it. How many of you have been stuck saying nothing's going to change? How many of you? How many of you had a bad belief that nothing is going to change? Even if you have to wait in the wilderness for 40 years, you've got to say to yourself that I know change is going to come. And Sam Cooke said it himself. He said it's been a long time coming, but I know change is going to come. How many of you have that absolute belief that you have the ability to change your life? Because it takes an absolute belief. How bad do you want it? It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it is. He didn't just say it's gonna come. He said, oh, yes it is. So I know I'm not the best singer, but I'm saying sometimes you gotta sing it to yourself. Yes, you have to sing it to yourself and say, if nothing else, I'm believing that change is going to come for me. And that is where change starts. Change starts with your belief that it's coming. I don't know if y'all hear me this morning. How many of you say, I've tried before and failed, so it's no sense in me trying again? That's a bad belief. That's a bad belief. That's a bad belief. We got to call out them bad beliefs this morning. That's right. It don't matter what your background was. We got to call out those bad beliefs. So how many of us say, I've tried before and I failed? And because I tried before and I failed, at this point, there's no sense in me trying again. Thank you, Z, for sharing on Twitter, inviting followers. So, yes, that's right. Change your approach. Yes, that's right. But don't give up. It's, the analogy I always like to use is learning to walk. Thank you, Cindy, for sharing on Twitter and inviting followers. I always like to use the analogy of learning to walk. When we were learning to walk, how many of you fell down? You may not remember quite. Hey, New York in the house. You may not remember quite. But just, if you had children and you remember them learning to walk. Thank you, Boss Lady T and Il and G, y'all, for inviting followers. If you have children and you remember them learning to walk, how many times did they fall down? Just say me, if you remember. Learning to walk is a process. Being successful is a process. See, we learn to walk because when we fell down, we did what? What did we do when we fell down? We got back up. And we fell down again. And we got back up. We fell off the bed, hit our head, and got back up. How many times have we been running and fell and just busted our squiggle and got back up? We had goose eggs on our head, but we got back up. And so many times in life, we're going to fail. And it's not the failure, it's the getting back up. Because when we fail, as we were learning to walk, what we realized was, I can't put my foot that way or I'll fall. So the next time I do it, I won't do it that way. So let me get back up and try again. And we didn't wait till the next day to get back up. We didn't wait a week to get back up. We got back up right away. And we didn't have distractions. People telling us you can't get back up. We didn't have people standing on the sidelines clapping when we failed. We had encouragement. So you got to find you somewhere to get some encouragement in this life, but you got to get back up. And you got to understand as you're tapping the screen for hearts. Oh, thank you, Miss Tangela. I appreciate that. You got to understand that life is the same way. It's not the falling. It is yes. For a saint is just a sinner who fell down, but he didn't stay down and got up. It said a righteous man falls 7 times. Now, if a righteous man falls 7 times, I know I'm going to fall 700 times. So let me get to falling. But I got to get back up. How many of you say, it'll never work for me? In your mind, you're saying, it'll never work for me. I know Oprah did it, but it'll never work for me. I know Warren Buffett did it, but it'll never work for me. I know Steve Harvey did it. Tyler Perry did it. P. Diddy did it, but it won't work for me. It won't work for me. You've got to say, if he'll do it for one, he'll do it for me. So what is the difference? And you've got to be willing to pay the price. Because if he'll do it for one, he'll do it for you. But are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to work hard to learn? Are you willing to, somebody say amen, if he'll do it for you, he'll do it for somebody else. You know, I'm sitting here reading the book of Proverbs right now, and I see in the book of Proverbs how many people he did it for, especially King Solomon, who they say was the richest man that ever lived. And King Solomon, you know, was all about the book of Proverbs. So if he did it for King Solomon, can't he do it for me? I'm just saying. But that has to be your mindset, is that God is willing and waiting to do it for me. Yes, the richest and the wisest, but see, they go hand in hand. So my question to you is, are you seeking knowledge like a man in the desert seeks water? Are you seeking encouragement like a starving man seeks food? Are you seeking wisdom like babies seek milk? Or are you just stuck in these bad beliefs? I don't know. Some of you got the bad belief that other people have more opportunities, or that more other people have a better chance, or they had a better upbringing, or they had better this, they went to a better school, they had better parents, they had a better life. But guess what? All of us got the same God, and he's better. He is better. And so as long as we got a better God, we all got better opportunities, but we got to get better at asking God for the better opportunities. If he'll do it for Oprah. If he'll do it for Oprah, I'm just saying. If he'll do it for Oprah, he'll do it for me. And he may not do for me exactly what he did for Oprah, because I'm not Oprah. But he may do for me what I need done for me. And so you have to have that belief in yourself first and foremost, believing in God. Because that same belief you have in yourself comes from believing in God and believing in who God created you to be. I know God made me to do this. I know by no stretch of the imagination that God made me for this. He made me for this day right here. He made me for this scope right here. He made me for the clients I have. He made me for the life that I live. I know without no stretch of the imagination. And that's why I can sit here rock solid in front of you and tell you that what's in you must come out. Whatever he made you to be, you've got to walk in it. You've got to stand in it. You've got to live in it. You've got to be blessed in it. You've got to believe in it. You've got to build it. You've got to polish it. You've got to work it. Because he gave it to you for you to work it. Somebody say yes. If you're ready to work it, you've got to do the work. Because he did not put you here to work for nobody. He put you here to work for him. But working for him means you got to believe that you're able, that you're worthy, that you're more than enough, that you can charge for your services, that people will pay you, that God has anointed you to do this job. It don't matter if it's making cakes or making shoes or making people better. It does not matter what the job is. You have to believe that God ordained you for that job, and then you got to go to work. You got to do the work. I'm just saying, you got to do the work. So you got to ask yourself on a daily basis, am I doing the work to change my mindset? Yes, people will pay you. They will. That's already set aside. People will pay you. People will pay you and pay you well. You've just got to know your own worth first. And if you don't know your own worth as God described it to you, that's a lesson you have to learn. But if you can't learn that lesson, you're going to be destined to live a life that is not your life. This is not your life. Whoever told you that, oh, you grew up poor, you're going to always be poor, they lied. Whoever told you that you grew up uneducated, you're going to always be uneducated. Uneducated people, you ain't got a college degree. Because you ain't got a college degree, nobody's going to pay you. Because you don't have this, nobody's going to pay you. Because you're not slim and cute, nobody's going to pay you. All that is a lie. You better look those lies in the face and say, from this point forward, yes, poor is a mindset. Poor is a mindset. And the minute you change that mindset, the minute you release yourself from poverty, yes, and I'm telling you, I'm here today, and guess what? Mr. Garcia, I don't even ask him from where to send the wealth. I just say, send it. I just say, send it my way. You can send it on a donkey. You can send it on social media. You can send it by the United States Postal Service. You can send it by DHL. I don't care how you send it, Lord. Send it. Let your will, not mine, be done. And so have me. That's right. We got to break these generational curses. I'm thinking now what to call my millionaire group. And I'm thinking on calling it a millionaire, $1 million legacy. Because we've got to break these generational curses. I was watching Bizarre Foods yesterday. And they were talking about a hotel in Japan that had been in the family for 46 generations. Do y'all hear me? It had that one hotel, they said it was the first hotel ever, 1705, in the family for 46 generations. We got stuff that ain't even been in our legacy for 46 years. Come on now. We struggle to keep a house for 46 years. We struggle to keep thousands in the bank for 46 years. We've got to. It says a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So we've got to create a legacy of millionaires. And that's got to be the legacy we live. And even just as important as the money, just as important as leaving that $1 million investment, is how do they deal with the $1 million when they get it? See, that millionaire mindset is so very important, because if you don't teach them how to handle that $1 million, it won't last to the next generation. Is anybody following what I'm saying? That's why most millionaires are broke within 5 years, because you won millions, but you did nothing to free yourself from that poverty mindset. And so now you still trapped in a poverty mindset, and you can't be rich like that. And the generations beneath you can't be rich like that. And you can't build a legacy. You can't have 46 generations. 46 generations rich if you don't pass them the mental wealth. I'm going to tell y'all something, and folks always get mad at me when I say it. But back in the gap, before slavery, way before slavery, they had more class distinctions than they did color distinctions. And even now, if you look closely, is it about color or is it about class? Is it about color, or are they just making us think it's about color? Or is it about there's a certain number of people that have a body of information that they keep exclusively to themselves? I'm just telling y'all the truth. And that if we don't get past the poverty mindset, we can't elevate to get that information. I'm not saying they keeping it from us deliberately. I really think it's to be found in these books. I really think it's to be found in these learnings. I really think it's to be found in the Bible. But we're not pursuing it enough. We're not pursuing knowledge enough. We're not pursuing greatness enough. We've gotten stuck and we've accepted that. And I say to you today, don't accept it anymore. Don't accept it anymore. Don't accept it anymore. Do whatever you have to do to move yourself forward. That's right. That's right. Teach a man to fish, because money comes and goes. You may lose $1 million in his lifetime, but if you have the right tactics and techniques, you can get the $1 million back. Look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump was bankrupt. And he said he wasn't worried about it. He said, I done lost more money in a lifetime than most people have in a lifetime, but I know how to go back and get it. I'm just saying. That